Good afternoon. I have the pleasure to have a discussion with Lerato Mathibela, who is the group specialist young talent for HR at Nedbank. She is a qualified CA, so a very clever person to say the least. Good afternoon, Lerato. Are you well?
Well, thank you. How are you?
Good. So one or two more things about her. She headed up the specialist training programs for CA training, as well as the quants graduate program at Nedbank. And in 2022, she took over as Group Young Talent Specialist, steering all young talent programs, and with the emphasis on making a contribution and a change to South Africa. Lerato, it's great having you this afternoon. Lerato is going to be one of our speakers at the upcoming HR Business Partner Conference, which will be held in May in Johannesburg. She's going to address specifically an area that she's very well qualified and experienced to talk around, is the management of Gen Zs. So let's quickly move on to that specific topic. What would you say and advice you can give HR business partners in terms of relating and building relationships and managing Gen Zs?
Awesome. So an area expertise that I'm really excited about and of importance is really understanding the Gen Z employee value proposition, right? And culture is incredibly important for Gen Z. And it's not only the culture that you think you'll introduce once you get to know them and see them, but they're doing their homework. They've gone to your LinkedIn pages, they've even gone to your leaders' LinkedIn pages. They have a network that they speak to, and they're actually quite informed around the lived experience perceived from the outside about the culture within your organization. So culture is extremely important. From a Gen Z perspective, understanding them really does help, because once you understand when they're born and what shaped them and the life events that they're drawing from, you really understand how to better lead and manage them. They're activists at heart. They know that activism works and that making a difference through a collective is possible. They want to make a difference, right? It's not only a difference within your organization, but they want to make a difference in society, particularly around equality, climate change, and sustainability. Their qualities, they are incredibly values driven. They're purpose driven, and inclusivity matters. And not just as a strategy on a desktop, but really the lived experience of how diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging feels within your organization, and also feels under your leadership. But they're open to co-creation, which is exciting. You don't have to get it all right. You need to, however, invite them in the room to have the conversation and help you co-create what that could look like. They're also obsessed with being authentic, not only for themselves, but any brand that they associate themselves with. And they're already sniffing out what isn't authentic, and they can get a sense for it even up front as HRBPs in the way you communicate your purpose, the strategy of the company, and how that all aligns and fits in together. Well-being as well is not just a perk for them, right? It's an expectation. Flexibility for them is not a one-size-fits-all, and they expect it. So really what's important is that you know the diversity, reputation is incredibly important, but that well-being and how that's customized and tailored for a Gen Z is incredibly important, because they don't work to live. Or rather, they don't live to work, right? Life is not based on work, but they work to live. They work so that they can live outside of work. But to contribute to this, they're quite effective, and they can be as productive in a short amount of time. And wellness at the core is important, because they just won't tolerate burnout. And how do we actually bring our practices around well-being to life? Because they're actually going to test it. And it's exciting because the Gen Z community is going to help us co-create a safe working environment. So they're putting us to the test as industry. They're shaping the workplace, and I'm excited to talk to you more about this very interesting generation emerging, and that's at your doorstep.
Fantastic, Lerato. In listening to you, the more I'm convinced that this is a very exciting group of people to have in your organization. And that you can, if you can really untap their potential, they can add so much value to your organization and obviously benefit themselves by it. So I'm really looking forward with all the other delegates to listen to your presentation at the upcoming HR Business Partner Conference. And good luck, and we'll see you there.
See you there. Thank you so much, Philip.